All right, listen here, man. We got to talk about Tim Pool. All right, now, if you guys don't know who Tim Pool is, Tim Pool is the former journalist who turned into a clickbait commentator, a fake news a commentator, essentially. He just lies, makes stuff up, uses extremely sketchy and shoddy sources that are completely fake news, and he sort of riles up his audience by telling them what they want to hear. He's a fake liberal. He's what we call a grifter, somebody who fakes their political ideology for monetary gain or brand gain and all of that kind of stuff. So he gets a lot of views, a lot of subscribers by basically feeding lies to his Arkham Asylum of an audience. Now, the only person crazier than Tim Pool are his fans. They're even crazier. They're even more insane. So essentially what's been going on with Tim Pool throughout this election cycle is the guy has had one of the worst track records of political predictions ever in all of history. Now, recently, in the run-up to the election, he not only has been claiming that Trump would win, he's actually been claiming that Trump would actually win in literally a landslide.
I think Kamala and Biden might be throwaway candidates. They know they're going to get steamrolled in the election. I really don't see the Democrats winning this. I think it's fair to say Trump's going to win re-election. I think Trump might have a massive victory, which shocks the left. I think we're looking at a Trump victory, man. Trump 2020 landslide, even with everything going on with COVID. I think that's what we can expect. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Trump had a 49-state landslide. I think we could see a 49-state landslide. We may be looking at a Mondale-Reagan type scenario where Trump landslides 49 states. And we may see a 49-state landslide. Maybe a 50-state landslide. That'd be amazing. I think we might be seeing a 49-state landslide. I just really think it's more likely that Trump wins 520 electoral votes. No amount of mail-in ballots will matter. If Trump gets 537 or 36 or even 538 every single electoral vote. We all know Joe Biden will lose. Like, let's be real, man. As I've stated 1,000,001 times, Donald Trump's going to win. The Republicans are going to sweep. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden has defeated Donald Trump.
So as you can see there, he was so insane. Not only was he claiming he was going to win in a landslide, he genuinely seemed to be believing that he was going to win 49 or 50 states. I don't even know what his definition of a landslide here is, but for me, a landslide is if you get your opponent down to 150 delegates. I think that's a landslide. But he genuinely seemed to believe he was going to win 49 or 50 states. And he posted multiple of these videos. And the pollsters that he was posting were, there was one right-wing pollster that was essentially having Trump winning these races, and it was Trafalgar. So he would source Trafalgar, or as the poll numbers started to become overwhelmingly clear in favor of Joe Biden, I think Trump and the Republican Party were probably starting to pay pollsters that I had never heard before coming out with polls that were in favor of Donald Trump. Even Rasmussen and Fox News had Trump losing in a lot of these areas, in most of them, in fact. It was really just Trafalgar. And then in the last days of the election, there were these random pollsters that were very openly right-wing, and it was essentially numbers that were just pushing what they were already saying, which means the numbers are bullshit. But he would source them anyways. No thought, no critical thinking, because for him, money, that's all he cares about. It's going to get him views, subscribers, money. He's a grifter, he's a lunatic, borderline schizophrenic at this point. But it's been clear now that Donald Trump has lost. It's over. It's extremely over. In all of the states, he leads by thousands. Trump is claiming that it's not over because he's filing lawsuits, which is hilarious. His main claim for a lawsuit is that, oh, we didn't have observers in Pennsylvania. Yes, you did, you idiot. That's why you got shut down in the courts already, because the court simply asked the lawyer saying, hey, well, are there Trump people in the observers in where the votes are being counted? They said, yeah. So the judge was like, why the hell are you bringing this case in front of me? Because there are observers that were inside, okay? And none of the ideas of the fraud make any sense. Anybody who has two brain cells to rub together understands how the numbers come down. Republicans vote in person. These Republican states or states controlled by, right-wing legislatures. Your Pennsylvania, for example. Republicans refuse, despite Democrats continually pleading with them to allow them to count mail-in ballots weeks before the election. They refused. They said, no, we're going to do it on election day when the polls actually close. So all the Democrats are voting by mail because of coronavirus. And even before COVID, Democrats already disproportionately voted by mail. But because of COVID, they're now going even harder by mail. And so they didn't count them. And so you count all the Republican ballots because they're all coming in person to vote. whereas Democrats aren't. Then you start counting all the Democrat ballots. You go, oh my God, how is this happening? They're finding votes. No, they're not finding votes, you idiot. They're just counting the ones that they already had that they refused to count. Take Florida, for example. They started counting their mail-in ballots 2 weeks ago, so that's why the numbers didn't flip like we've seen in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, pretty much everywhere else in the nation, okay? Georgia, for example. So all these leads in these states, Georgia, these areas, he's leading by thousands of votes. Recounts have never overturned more than about 1.2k votes. Nowhere is the lead that close. The only place I can see Biden losing is maybe Arizona, but he might even hold on there. But the thing is, he lied. I don't know if he's schizophrenic or if he just knows that his fans are just going to eat it up. And it's hilarious because now he's just pivoting to the House races and attempt. He does this all the time when he gets a prediction dead wrong. He'll just talk about something else. He'll just pretend like he never said it, like it never happened. He just never said it. It just never happened, right? So here's a couple of things that I actually have pulled up for you. So here's one, right? This is Ilhan Omar a couple months ago. You guys remember when Ilhan Omar defeated her opponent, won the election in her race in Minnesota, which, by the way, Trump's main strategy appeared to be villainize Ilhan Omar in Minnesota. All of a sudden, you're going to win. He got destroyed in Minnesota. So how did that work out for you, buddy? But he said Ilhan Omar on the verge of losing. Primary rival raises 7 times her funds. Ilhan Omar obviously would go on to destroy her opponents. Here was another one also even before that. Ocasio-Cortez could lose re-election tomorrow, and she's worried. And then it goes, this could end the leftist, leftist Democrats. AOC destroyed her opponent even harder than Ilhan Omar did. It wasn't even close. I think she got like 70% of the results or something like that, something ridiculous like that. There was nothing to actually indicate that she could win. His audience is so insane, he just reinforces what they say so that he can make more money via more views and comments and subs and all that kind of stuff. And then finally, here you have new forecast drops predicting Trump victory in a Republican surge. Trump might win in landslide, destroying trust in media for generations. And obviously none came even close to that. Trump is going to lose Georgia. He's obviously going to lose Nevada. If he loses Arizona, that's also a big deal. But being able to pick up Pennsylvania and Georgia is a big deal. And so it's not even close for Donald Trump. Not only did he not win in a landslide, he really didn't even really come close because he lost by tens of thousands. And for example, in Michigan, he lost by over like 140, 150,000. It wasn't even close. And by the time Pennsylvania is finished counting, he'll probably have lost by over 100,000 votes there too. That's not close. You lost big time. That's not close. In swing states, these margins are really big. So that's not close. The one area that Trump really exceeded expectations was Florida. He seemed to do Biden in pretty hard. He also won Ohio pretty handily. Those are the 2 states. Basically everywhere else getting rocked. And Tim Pool needs to be held to account. I'm just waiting for him to be held to account. How can a source like Tim Pool constantly cite these really fake Republican pollsters? I can't even call them Republican pollsters. They're more like QAnon pollsters. Nobody's heard of them before. Conveniently, the opinion of that pollster is the same as what the numbers that they're putting out are. It's pretty obvious that it's fake. But when is he going to be held to account for being wrong on every single one of these things when people are calling him out in real time? When is he going to be held to account? People like this need to be held to account. Someone like this is so bad, nobody should ever listen to his videos ever again. Anybody. He should not be allowed. Okay, this is insane. It's crazy how wrong he is, but how he's able to just keep going like nothing happened. At what point do you get called out for spreading fake news? Because he is a fake news salesman. That's literally what he is. He finds these random pollsters, okay, that nobody knows of, has no backing whatsoever, no reliability, spews them like it's real facts, and then he's totally dead wrong. But hey, it doesn't matter, right? Because he got his views, he got his subscribers, he got his donations, he got his investors into his news website and all this other crap. Someone like this needs to be held to account. And it's really disgusting to watch, man. You're a fucking fraud. How do you sleep at night knowing that you're such a massive bullshit artist? It's honestly crazy to me. I mean, he's really even crazier than Dave Rubin at this point. Dave Rubin is obviously insane, but I don't know if Dave Rubin is as big of a peddler of bullshit as Tim Pool is, man. It's really remarkable to see.